Hello. Hey, thanks for watching. On Sunday, we were in chapter 5 of 1 Corinthians, where Paul spoke the need to remove the immoral man from the midst of the church for his sake and for the sake of the witness of the church. This man was an infection in the church, and it was affecting the church's health and witness. An infection left unchecked could and would cause great damage to the church. In the midst of dealing with the situation of the immoral man, Paul describes to us and them how to live in this world. I'm sure many of you have entertained the thought of what heaven might be like. No bad news, no elections, no pandemics, no bad weather days, no rude people, no murders, floods, explosions, hurricanes. You get the idea, a perfect world. One of my favorite all-time quotes that I heard secondhand years ago: if we get rid of all the bad people, then this would be heaven. Not sure how that would work out. The option that has been taken throughout the centuries has been to go off grid, to separate oneself from the evil of the world. Paul addresses that very situation and speaks a truth not only relevant for his time, but it is also just as applicable today. In 1 Corinthians 5, verses 9 through 11, Paul writes, "I wrote you in my letter not to associate with immoral people." I did that at all mean with the immoral people of this world, or with the covetous and swindlers, or with idolaters, for then you would have to go out of the world. But actually, I wrote to you not to associate with any so-called brother if he is an immoral person, or covetous, or an idolater, or a reviler, or a drunkard, or a swindler. Not even eat with such a one. Paul is addressing the concern that the church does not condone ongoing, unrepentant sin, and at the same time gives us instructions for living in the world. We need to live among the immoral people of the world. The option of leaving the world is not recommended. Why is that? Why does he want us to continue living among the covetous and otherwise world without God? Exactly that. There are people out there who are living the way they're living because they don't know God. The only way for them to know about the love of God and the power of Jesus to transform their lives is for someone who knows the gospel to tell them. You and I are there someone. My lawnmower sits in the garage. It can't change the way my yard looks sitting in the garage. Bringing it out into the yard and using it transforms how it looks. Just think what it would be like if we would take the gospel out of the garage, the church building, and share it in the streets, homes, restaurants, stores, and workplaces where you interact with friends and family. It won't make this heaven, but it will change people's eternities. In the light, my flashlight doesn't seem so bright, but in the dark, it helps me to see much more clearly and to keep me from tripping over the obstacles. Shine the light of Jesus by simply sharing what Jesus has done for you into someone who continues to live in the darkness. That light will help them to see what they can't currently see, and will give them an opportunity to respond to the invitation of the God who loves them beyond measure. Invite them to attend church, either in person or online. This verse isn't about keeping the broken people out of the church. We want them to hear the message of forgiveness and meet Jesus, who can change their lives. Remember, our goal is to see new believers as we are faithful to share the message, and for all of us to mature as Christians who live in this world as Jesus would. We've got a message, we've got a light. We're living amongst people who don't know about God, and they live like it. Let's take that message out there. Let's see if we can change one life at a time. All we have to do is plant the seed and see what God does with it. Maybe, just maybe, they'll come here and they'll end up going through our baptismal tank and getting baptized, and we can rejoice with them on what God has done in their life, their change of eternal destination. Thanks for watching.